have even been wrestling longer than him are going to look good just because they're in a match with Gunther. Gunther's that good. Now, to me, I I think that this has to main event the show, and even if it's for the Intercontinental title or something, I think that Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov is the match. This is the match which Gunther loses, and I think Dragunov is gonna have a long reign with. Dragunov is the kryptonite. He's the person that has not confronted Gunther. Gunther is wondering who's gonna dethrone him, and I think it's the man that is in NXT that hasn't even stepped foot in the main roster ring yet. It's Ilya Dragunov, and I think he's going to dethrone Gunther at Bash in Berlin for the Intercontinental title. And I think that's smart because not only it makes Dragunov seem like a big deal right off the bat, but it also signifies it. You don't start off Dragunov with like the world title or something. And also, this will also maybe, if you make Gunther lose the Intercontinental title at Bash in Berlin, we can begin a WrestleMania 41 trajectory of Gunther going after the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41. Maybe even winning the 2025 Royal Rumble. Next up is the women's tag titles, and I've went with Alba Fire and Nyla Dawn. I think they need to be on TV more. I don't understand how a gimmick like this can't be on TV, but I don't know. But it seems like that WWE is listening, and it seems like they're going to be in a rivalry with the Kabuki Warriors, which I don't even know how that rivalry is going to be booked because both teams deserve to win. But since we're talking about the end of 2024, I think the Kabuki Warriors will enter WrestleMania with the tag titles. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to see Io versus Bayley for the women's title at WrestleMania, and we're going to see the Kabuki Warriors versus somebody else. I have no idea. It could be a babyface tag team. It could be Dakota Kai. It could be Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox. I have no idea. But I think that at the end of the year, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn will hold the tag titles. And I think by the end of the year, they will be a proper tag team with a proper reign. And I think they're going to get pushed. You can definitely see their fan base will grow. And I think that this is only the beginning of a big push for them. And they were big in NXT. The fans got behind them pretty goddamn quickly in NXT. And I'm very excited to see what they have on the main roster. I totally believe that Triple H is going to book them strong. And I'm going to predict that they hold the women's tag titles at the end of 2024. Next up is the United States Championship, and I've gone with Santos. I am under the belief that Logan versus LA Knight is going to happen. And though I would love a ladder match of some sort to return at WrestleMania, I think the money is just there for Logan and LA Knight. It's going to be one of the most anticipated matches on the card. And LA Knight gets his moment in the sun at WrestleMania 40. But after that, I think LA Knight's going to go on a decent reign. I think WWE is going to give LA Knight, after all the times, of failing to win the big one, they're going to give LA Knight a long reign. And then I think heel Santos is going to pop into the picture. Not right away, but I think we're going to end the year. I think Santos should go the entire year as a heel because I just love what I'm seeing. I think Santos going the entire year as a heel is great. Because remember, the older Legado was heel, and it worked. And I really think that it's working this time. This time with Humberto and Angel Garza, which I thought was a brilliant move by Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And I think Santos deserves a singles title. I mean, you can already tell that he's embracing the heel gimmick fully. And to me, I think that he is going to end the year with the title, and I really think his heel gimmick is just going to be a top 5 heel gimmick in WWE. I think this entire year, he's just going to continue to polish it off, and I think at the end of the year, Santos is going to be a pretty big name in the WWE. Next up is the Women's Championship, and I've gone Dakota Kai. Now, people may think that I'm being biased because they know Dakota Kai is my favorite women's wrestler currently. But let me explain. I think at WrestleMania, Bayley's going to get the job done against Io Sky. However, I don't think Chelsea Green is winning Money in the Bank. If we learned anything, is that Triple H likes to book in storylines. Io Sky's storyline was Io Sky was with Bayley. Bayley was about to win Money in the Bank, but Io Sky didn't want to be in the backseat of Damage Control any longer, and she won Money in the Bank. And since that moment, Io Sky's kind of had it out for Bayley. She hasn't, and though Io Sky has won the women's title, Bayley's been there. Io Sky has not necessarily is ready to turn on Bayley at any time now. To me, I think I think Dakota Kai is a valid Money in the Bank winner. I mean, she'll be back from injury. I think Dakota Kai should absolutely be on the WrestleMania 40 card. And judging by the Damage Control storyline and how much stock they're putting into it, I've got some faith that Dakota Kai will have a spot on the WrestleMania 40 card. I hope so, because I'll be there in person, and I really want to see her wrestle in the ring rather than sitting and catering. But to me, I think Dakota is going to win Money in the Bank. I would love Chelsea Green to win it, but realistically, I think you could, if you're going to continue this Damage Control storyline, or maybe even like Dakota, Bayley, Io, Kyrie storyline, Dakota winning Money in the Bank is not that bad at all. And I think Dakota may be pulling out one of her tricks. At first, Dakota sides with Bayley. Now, people think she's the mastermind, yada, 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 yada. But Asuka, Io, and Kyrie turn on Dakota too, because they just want to form a 3-woman faction. And they turn on Dakota, who becomes babyface, gets that Money in the Bank contract. But Dakota, when she has the Money in the Bank contract, that's when Dakota goes into the well. You may have seen it so many times. Dakota's traditional heel turns. She turns on Bayley and becomes the women's champion. I would love that personally. I don't think it's going to happen, but to me, I think Dakota Kai needs to be... I think Dakota Kai's Money in the Bank winner would be great. And Money in the Bank is also about elevating people. And I think Dakota Kai is a perfect description of that. I think Chelsea Green is a perfect description of that. But it would be if Dakota Kai... But I would love Dakota Kai to win Money in the Bank, cash in on Bayley, and become the women's champion. And it may seem like an out there prediction, but I'm going to do it. Next up is the other women's championship, which is held by Rhea Ripley. And I'm going with Liv Morgan. Now, I think Becky is going to end Rhea's reign at WrestleMania. I just think that this Rhea reign just isn't going the way it's supposed to. And I think that they're going to go with Becky Lynch holding the championship. I don't mean to say that, Becky's way better than Rhea. But I think what Becky's done over the last year, match quality-wise, has outshined Rhea pretty clearly. And Becky went down in NXT, absolutely killed it down there. To me, I think they're going to give the championship to Becky. However, Liv Morgan... I feel like when she comes back, Liv Morgan's going to be higher up on the card. I think Liv Morgan has now established herself as a absolute constant top star. She's always eyeing for the big prize. And I think we're going to end the year with Liv Morgan as a women's champion. Maybe dethroning Becky, I don't know. But I think Liv Morgan holds the title. And I think she deserves it, because that first reign that she had got ruined by the constant booking of her versus Ronda Rousey. I think if Liv just wouldn't have gotten a good reign, if Ronda Rousey just would have not been in the way, I think Liv would have had a great title reign. It's just that they insisted on Liv and Ronda Rousey having a feud, and it did not work. Next up is the Raw Tag Team Championships. I think they're going to split the titles. And I think the Raw Tag Team titles are going to the Creeds. I think they're going to end the year with the titles. And there's a good chance that they will hold those titles for a long time. The Creeds are special. The Creeds are going to have likely a Hall of Fame, I'm calling it now, likely a Hall of Fame career. They've just got an amazing background, and they're already out. They've been on the main roster, what, like a couple months, 3 or 4 months, and they're already just being put in predominant positions, and they're going right up against the Judgment Day. To me, the Creeds are going to end the year with the titles, and 2024 is going to be a big year for the Creeds. I think they're going to give the Creeds a lot of wins, and they're going to end the year with the running strong with the tag team championships. And they totally deserve it because their body of work deserves it. And I think Ivy Nile will get maybe a couple of women's title opportunities as well. Next up is the World Heavyweight Champion. I'm going with Gunther. I really am. You know what? I think Gunther is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I think CM Punk is completely valid. I think CM Punk, if he beats Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, I can realistically see them holding it for the rest of the year. I think Seth Rollins, after he's done losing the World Heavyweight title, he should take a break, and he should take a break from the main event scene. I think it's time for Seth Rollins to take a break. I mean, the man has worked his ass off, and guys like Gunther need to be constantly in the main event scene. They need to be the guys that are on TV all the goddamn time, and Gunther deserves it for the level of work that he's had for the Intercontinental title. And I think Gunther is going to end the year as World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know how, and some people may think it's kind of crazy, but Gunther is going to end the year as World Heavyweight Champion. I think he's going to lose to Dragunov, and not too long after, he's going to win the World Heavyweight title. Maybe he wins Money in the Bank. I think Gunther is a good Money in the Bank winner. I think if Gunther enters that Money in the Bank ladder match, I think there's going to be a lot of fans on the IWC and all aboard that would want Gunther to win. If Gunther has Money in the Bank, there's no way you can have a guy like him fail a cash-in. So I think when the clock strikes midnight on 2025, Gunther's going to be holding the World Heavyweight title. Next up is going to be the SmackDown Tag Titles, and I'm going to go with AOP. I'm very excited to see AOP back. They are a big-time tag team. If you watch them back in the NXT days, these guys were a big deal as a tag team. Paul Ellering, spectacular manager, and I'm rooting for success. Now that we got AOP back where they need to be, I am very much rooting for them. And I don't know how they're going to fit in with Karrion Kross. All I know is by the end of this year, they're going to be holding titles. And hopefully, they kind of break away from Karrion Kross. I mean, I don't hate them with Karrion Kross, but I hope eventually them and Paul Ellering become their own thing. They do their own reign of destruction. And AOP go on a run of their own. I mean, seeing the AOP and the Creeds as tag champions would be quite the sight, to be honest with you. And next up, the WWE Undisputed Champion is Cody Rhodes. He needs to finish the story, man. WrestleMania 40, no other date, no other time on the calendar, no nothing. WrestleMania 40 needs to be the night that Roman loses the titles. Screw trying to break records. It's not... WWE cares about records. I care about what storylines fit. Don't try to break a record. Try not to make no sense and break a record. I think Cody Rhodes lost at WrestleMania 39. He needs to win at WrestleMania 40. Find a way to get Solo banned from ringside. Cody needs to win the title. And if Cody wins at WrestleMania, he has to go on a long reign with it. He just has to, because it wouldn't make sense for Cody to win at WrestleMania and then for him to lose quickly. No. I think Cody dethrones Roman and gets his spotlight and has constant matches every pay-per-view. Cody stands tall, and Cody's becomes Superstar of the Year in 2024. I don't know, but Cody wins the championship, and obviously after he dethrones Roman, holds it to the end of the year. And Cody Rhodes fans, I'm predicting that you will have a great 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button. Also, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, just type in Crispy Wrestling, and you should see my name pop up on Twitter. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.